Hi guys, I want to share this story with you guys. So, I was hanging out with some friends of mine, some new friends of mine that I've met out here on the road, and they're wonderful Christians. And I was about out evangelizing and I met them, and they're amazing. They live off grid and they live off the land, and they're very humble Christians, and they invite people out to their house, like anybody and everybody, Christians or not Christians, because they want to minister to them and they want to love on them and they want to testify about God, about what God's done for them and what God continues to do for them. And one of their friends comes out, and his name is Joel. So pray for Joel, because I was sitting here thinking and praying about truly loving others and getting to that level of, like self-sacrifice, serving others, and how hard it is because people are so harsh in the church and out of the church. I mean, people are harsh in general, and how hard it is to self-sacrifice, to serve others, even, to bless those who curse you, to turn the other cheek, to, bless those who despitefully use you, all of that stuff, being long-suffering, patient, all of that stuff. So it was like, anyway, this guy, Joel, shows up at their house, and my friend was telling me about how we need to pray for him because he was in a Christian band and he toured all over the United States in a Christian band, and how he fell away from his faith because somebody, I don't know whether it's in the band or in the church, but either way, it was a Christian that hurt him so bad that he fell out of his faith from the Lord. Now, yes, we as Christians have a choice of to, hold steadfast to our faith in Jesus no matter what. But I know that I don't want to be the person that talks out of hatred, or that talks out of envy or strife or bitterness or self-righteousness or any of these things, to the point where somebody who is a Christian or somebody who's not a Christian says, I don't believe in God because of that Christian's actions. And we have to be very aware of what we say, because there is power in the tongue, and there's life and death in the tongue. It's not what goes in your mouth that defiles you, but what comes out of your mouth that defiles you. So if what comes out of your mouth defiles you, you have to be very careful what you say to other people. So if you falsely accuse a brother or sister, you could lead them to their destruction. It's what comes out of your mouth that defiles a man. So does it just defile you, what you speak? Or does it defile the other person as well? And you really have to think about that, guys, because this guy was a gospel singer who traveled the United States in his Christian band. And all it took was for somebody that he fellowshipped with, I don't know who it was, I don't know the specifics, to continue to defile with his tongue to this person. And this person left the faith because of a Christian, because of a church member, whoever it was. And we don't know, guys. We don't know how strong somebody's faith is. You would think a gospel singer that traveled the United States in a Christian band would have a high level of faith. And I have to have, me as a Christian, I learned that I cannot judge God off of other Christians' actions. I can't, because Jesus is all-knowing, all-loving, gracious, understanding. He is the best agape love I've ever known. Nobody I know in this world agape loves like Jesus does. But people blame Jesus for the things that people do, and please don't blame Jesus for the things that people say or the way the church acts. Because I know if I didn't have a high faith in Jesus, if my faith wasn't as strong as it is in Jesus, I probably would have done the same thing as Joel. I probably would have denounced my faith. Because I've had church after church after church after church just hurt me and judge me and gossip about me and despitefully use me and falsely accuse me. So you really have to be careful, you guys, what you say. And if you think a brother or sister in Christ is in the wrong, just pray for him, you guys. Don't go around gossiping and backbiting and all this stuff. Just pray for them. God can handle that person. So pray for Joel, because it's a testimony of how our words can not only defile ourselves, but defile everybody around us. And you don't know how strong somebody's faith is, whether it be a new believer or somebody who's in a gospel band that's touring all around the world. You don't know. So guys, let's really be careful what we say. Because what we say could either be a blessing or a curse to somebody. I saw this study at this college they did one time, and they had a plant in one side of the building that they said love and peace and good things to. And then they had another plant on the whole other side of the building that they said all of these meanful things like anger and hate and cursing and all this stuff. The plant that was love was flourishing. And the other plant on the other side of the building, and they both had the same amount of light, same amount of water, same amount of plant food. And the other one that was the plant that was being told hate and stuff like that, was the leaves were starting to wilt over. The plant was starting to die. And do you want to be responsible as a Christian for somebody, for somebody's leaves to wilt in their faith towards God? Because you're speaking hate into their life? Because you're speaking false accusations against them in their life? We've got to be really careful, you guys. We've got to be really, really, really careful. But don't give up on God because somebody's hurt you. It's not God's fault that somebody hurt you. And just pray for Joel, you guys. Pray for Joel.